Hey there, how are you guys doing today? I am making a pizza casserole. So this is good for keto, paleo diets. And if you are even wanting something to fix with the kids, you could always make this and then do like a bagel or part of an English muffin, toast it, and put the casserole on that. If you wanted, like you were making your meals, but want something you could also serve the kids, that would be a great way to do that as well. So I'm gonna bring you over here to the stove with me. And this is gonna be super quick because we're just gonna cook all this up, throw it in a casserole dish, and it'll go in the oven till the cheese melts. Very easy. So I'm doing just a little bit of olive oil today. And then I have here, so you guys can see. So here I have a half of an onion, half of a red pepper, and 1 container of mushrooms. So all of this is gonna go in. And we're just gonna let this cook down. If you don't like mushrooms, then don't use mushrooms. Anything that we're doing, baking is different than whenever we're cooking. There's sometimes you have to really watch how many ingredients we do and make things exact. This is not one of those dishes. So if there are things that you prefer, then just make those adjustments. So it's whatever your family likes. So we eat a lot of mushrooms, and so I happen to really like those. So we've got those going. I'm gonna bring you back over here for a minute because what I'm gonna do while that is starting to cook is I've got my turkey pepperoni that I prefer the uncured. And then I am also going to be using turkey sausage crumbles. Now these are already cooked, just because it's easy, it's less messy. If you, I personally don't eat much pork. Every now and then we have some pork bacon, but we don't do that real often. We just have the holiday, so I did a little bit more than I normally would. But what I like to do with the pepperoni, just because I feel like it mixes better, these big pieces. So we're cooking this over here. We've got our pan going with our mushrooms, and our onion and peppers, right? I already showed you that. So the pepperoni, when we go to mix this together, you'll see I'm going to put it all together. And I just find when you have these bite-sized pieces that it's just, it's more pleasant in your mouth to chew. If you have kids that are picky, they seem to like it better. And it makes it just mix and disperse better, okay? So all I'm gonna do is I stack the stack of pepperoni up, and I'm just cutting it in quarters. So you can see I just got quarters of the pepperoni. That's literally all I'm doing right now. Just gonna make a stack, cut it in quarters. The sausage is already cooked and crumbled, so I don't have to jack with that. If you choose to cook your sausage, maybe you get sausage that's not cooked, whether it's pork or turkey, be sure, that you cook it thoroughly, because when you put something on a pizza, it's really just browning. We're not really cooking anything. Whether it's a casserole, you could do the same thing that I'm making right now. Oftentimes I'll buy like an against the grain pizza, just cheese, or they even have sometimes just the crust, and I'll put this, like for my grandkids, I'll make this and then put it on a pre-made crust. And this is how I do my toppings to do that, just to kind of doctor it up real quick. Okay, so this is all of my pepperoni. I got this done. And you're gonna see we're gonna mix all this together. So I've got that. I also have a can of olives. These are just sliced black olives I'll be adding. Again, this is what we like on our pizza. So again, it's mushroom, onion, and I prefer red pepper. And that's, I'm cooking right now. I'm gonna be adding the pepperoni, the sausage, and the black olives. Now I am going to use, here in a minute as it starts to cook a little bit, I am going to put a little wine in to cook these, finish cooking these veggies down. The biggest thing right now is just getting these veggies cooked. Let's kind of show you, they're about halfway there right now. So this is kind of how they are right now. So they're about halfway there. So I'm going to get some wine. Okay, so we've got our wine. We're going to add now to our mushrooms, onions, and peppers. We're just gonna kind of let this cook for a minute. These mushrooms have really reduced. This is about the equivalency of about a can of mushrooms now. I'm gonna show you what that looks like. So that's cooked down about half of what it was. Okay, so we're gonna let this simmer for just a minute, kind of let the alcohol cook out of that. We want the mushrooms to absorb that wine as well. They really tend to grab those flavors, and that's part of why I like doing that. I'm gonna go ahead and throw in my can of black olives, and I did already drain the liquid, there we go, out of that. So if you choose to use black olives, definitely want to drain the liquid. If you don't want to use fresh mushrooms, although I highly recommend it, you can use a can. Again, just make sure you drain them off. You won't need to, you'll still, personally, I would still cook the peppers and the onions down a little bit. And I wouldn't use quite as much wine because the mushrooms, since they'll already be cooked in the can, they're not going to absorb it. So instead of doing like a half a cup, I probably going to do about a quarter cup. And I'm going to add 1 jar of the Rayo's pizza sauce. This is one of the low sugar pizza sauces. I'm just going to add this right here. Oops. Get all that out. So we got this pizza sauce in here. And I'm gonna let this cook for a few minutes. Literally just for about a minute. Kind of get that to heat through. And then we're just gonna add the meats. So now for us, this is the turkey sausage. Again, if you want to do pork sausage, Jimmy Dean does also make one that's like this in pork, so you could do that if that's something you preferred. I'm adding my pepperoni. You could also add ham, Canadian bacon, regular bacon if you want. Again, it all needs to be cooked. Anything you choose to fix does need to be cooked. And so we're just stirring this in. You can kind of see. So at this point, it's pretty thick. We got a lot of filling in here. Now, at this point, you can do one of two things. What I'm going to do is put it in our casserole dish, and this will be our pizza casserole. If you bought a pre-made pizza crust, you could also put this on top of your pizza crust, or even if you bought like a frozen cheese pizza, I've done that before, added my toppings to it, and put this on top of it, and then top it with your own cheese. That will work for either. So this is very flexible that way. So on a regular pie pan, the edges are like this, and this one comes up like this. So that's going to be our big difference with that, if you can see that. So that it's going to hold a little bit more. It's also going to allow all the cheese and the toppings to be more even. So I do about half of this. And then we put a layer of cheese, and then we do the other half and top it with cheese. So the cheese we have today, this is what I happen to have on sale this week, is the Talmud. This is just the mozzarella. It happens to be the thick shred this time, so that's what they had on sale. So you have a different kind you like. I do try to do the organic. Now, at this middle layer, I am not going to do the whole bag. I just want enough. The reason we put this in the middle, because this is a casserole, is it really helps it stick together so that whenever you go to take a serving out, it'll all kind of stick together. So that's really what we're trying to accomplish by having that there. We're going to put the rest of our toppings here. That smells so good. Nothing smells or tastes better than pizza. And I'll tell you what, I just really don't even miss the crust anymore. For me, the toppings have always been the best part. Now you'll notice, because I only did that 1 jar, that it's not overly saucy. And that's really important because it's a casserole. You do want some sauce. You're just not going to want a heavy layer of sauce, because it just isn't going to hold together with a heavy layer. Okay? We're going to do the second bag. We may or may not use all the second bag, just kind of see. Normally I have the big 3 and 5 pound bags of cheese that I just kind of grab out of. And since I'm keto with the cheese, there's really no or very little carbs in cheese. So it's not something that I really have to be super careful to measure whenever I'm doing, if I choose to do an almond crust or something like that, because I have family that wants it or I'm in the mood for it. Yeah, we'll go ahead and do the rest of this. Then I'm obviously very, very careful with it. But so there we go. So this is our pizza casserole. We're going to put it in the oven, and I'll be back whenever we take it out. Okay, we just took our pizza casserole out of the oven. So I want to kind of show it to you guys real quick. It looks beautiful, and I can't touch it because it's hot. See how nice that looks? Just like a beautiful pizza. Just a reminder, there is no crust, right? So this was just our pizza toppings that we cooked and mixed together. We layered a little bit of cheese in the middle, and then we put the rest of the casserole in and topped with a thicker layer of cheese. We baked this in the oven at 375 for approximately 20 minutes. It's really just about your cheese becoming all bubbly and brown, as you can see, just like if you made a pizza. Again, you could take that same topping we made and put it on top of a pre-made crust of any kind. You can also use our chicken pizza recipe that I do. So we do the chicken crust made with raw chicken breast, and we put the seasoning in that, and you bake that, and then you can put this on top of it. So it's really flexible how you want to use it. But this is a very basic keto way. My husband and I will have this for a couple days. What I really like is once we put it in the refrigerator to eat tomorrow and the next day, once it's cold, it really does slice really nice. So you will get really nice pieces, just like you're cutting a pizza, and then you just, heat them up either in a skillet or in the microwave. So anyway, I hope you'll try it. And once you do, let me know what you think. I hope you have a great day and eat healthy.